There we go. We'll just give it a second, make sure it is working.
The 1975 Spanish GP. This circuit also hosts a round of the MotoGP Championship, known as the Catalan Grand Prix. The race has been won 6 times by the legendary, now retired Valentino Rossi.
There we go, just do a quick mic check.
At the 2006 Spanish Grand Prix, Fernando Alonso
Perfect, all good. Right,
driver to win at his home.
welcome back to the Spanish Grand Prix. 11 drivers in here tonight for Tier 2 Season 6. Hopefully a few more turn up during qualifying. A lot more familiar names tonight than there was last night. I race with a fair few of these myself. We will have someone joining me tonight, so I'm not all by myself. But yeah, here we go, started for qualifying. Currently on board with the Aston Martin. I have no idea what to call that name. Rest of them are fine. I'm going to go with Scott. Well, I think there's an SCO and a T in there, so we'll go with Scott. We head through turn 10 now. Horrible sense of deja vu, doing all this again. Let's head down now into turn 13. And into 14, big lift there for the Aston Martin, fully off the throttle. As we begin the first time lap. I think that Williams behind has come I think that's Ridian has come straight back into the pit lane. Not too sure why. Actually, no, this won't be the first time lap. Yeah, we have Alfa Romeo ahead, I believe, on a time lap, but we'll follow Scott. Purple sector 1 as we head through turn 4 into the downhill drop of turn number 5. Hug that inside curve, let the car run out wide, but not too wide. Nicely done there by the Aston Martin. Into this tricky set of corners here, into turn 9 now, onto the back straight. That's looking nice and hooked up so far. The Williams moves out the way quite nicely for him there. Into turn 10, purple sector 2 as well. As we're into turn 12. And then the final 2 corners. Let's see the throttle trace here. Half lift there for the Aston Martin. You can with the right setup keep that pinned, and that is the benchmark time. All the drivers will be chasing over 1:12.5. You can definitely go faster than that. Drifting up to the line, smashes that by 7/10. Good lap there by the Alfa Romeo. And look back to who else is next to cross the line. Liam. We'll go on board with Yonder in the McLaren on the Inter, so that's not going to be representative of Tom. Oh, hello, Tom. Have you included your audio?
Yeah, I already have.
Right, let's have a look and just make sure. If you want to just give us a little sample, Tom.
Don just decided to spin it around. So obviously the intermediate.
Your mic is a little bit glitchy coming through here.
That was it.
Maybe just try unplugging it and replugging it in or something like that.
So,
Give it a little twirl.
and have what?
Make sure it's turned up as well. It's a little bit quiet on there.
Alright, this is what I can do.
I'll turn you up on here, make sure. I'll see if that works. I'll whack you right up to 150. That'll do. We'll have a look.
Liam to
I
come
think.
across the line.
There we go. Liam goes P2. Just shy
Looks
of
like it was
10.
purple sector 3.
He was fastest in sector 3. Scott we're going to go with up to the line for a second lap. Not representative on that one. Only 11 drivers here for tonight. Hopefully a few more joining quali. A few of these have already driven this this event last night from Tier 1. Ben is one of them. Yonder drove as well last night, so did Mihinovic. Mihinovic will be hoping for a better result than he had last night. A crash for the Williams in the Tier 1 race. We'll have a look on board with Rillian. We'll watch his progress. He was meant to be joining me in the combox tonight and then backed out last second to then race once again, but that is fine.
That's fine, you've got a different Welsh person.
He is a full-time driver, so it's more beneficial to him that he drives. As we head into turn 13 now. AlphaTauri and McLaren ahead, hopefully they get nicely out of the way for him. As we swing through turn 13, we'll watch the throttle trace for the Williams. Another big lift, catching the grass a bit on the inside curb. Up to the line for Rillian, P5, the slowest of the representative time so far. We'll drop back to Callum. Romeo. Picked up nicely here into the final 2 corners. Keep an eye on the throttle trace as well, want to see what he's doing. Foot pin to the floor, slight lift there. Just after the apex, but up to the line, that is P3. 2/10 off the fastest time.
That's his teammate of drifting. So it does look like drifting and setting the pace early on with the Alfa Romeo. I'm quite surprised with Radiant's time. You know, he's proven to show he's a strong driver, but obviously catching the grass in Sector 3 doesn't help.
So we'll have a quick run through of the top 5 in the standings. So currently the championship leader is Yonder and the McLaren. He is on 96 points. Healthy lead of 13 to Mihinovic in the Williams. Then we have EX Senna in the Red Bull, who is not here currently, 37 points behind. 51 points is Logan, P5 in the last race, so he'll be hoping to try and score top 3 tonight. And then 5th place is Millard in the AlphaTauri. He is on 49 points, so nice and close there with Logan. McLaren are your constructors, leading the constructors at the minute. Scott seemingly just doing lap after lap after lap for some reason.
And Ben 4 is out on his first lap. He's gone purple into Sector 1. Looking like he's got that Mercedes working better. Huh?
Take us through the rest of the lap.
Oh, well, I know Nico Rosberg around here, but coming towards a sweeping right-hander, getting full throttle, coming down onto one of my personal favourite overtaking spots. Obviously recently changed, coming through the left-hander. Trying to think the best way to describe this track. Haven't really driven it much myself. Trying not to collect too much curb as it can offset all the car, proven by Iridium before. Nice,
Big lift there for Ben.
Yeah.
P7, he can definitely go faster than that. We saw that last night in the Tier 1 race. Ben was had a tough race driving for Haas. We'll be hoping for a little bit better tonight. Obviously, if all 11 cars finished, only one more miss out on World Championship points. So we do have a yellow flag, I think, for a Williams. That'll be Mihinovic. I think he's just letting some cars by. As the Alpha goes by, who is starting a lap? Yonder is starting a lap. Tom, if you want to take us through this full lap.
That's if I can find. Oh, there we are. Yeah, so Yonder and McLaren going towards the breaking point where just before the 50 marker, coming through to the sweeping right-hander. Now, this is Grosjean's favourite part of the track after the 2018 Spanish Grand Prix. Coming into a heavy braking zone. And he's gone purple Sector 1 of the car right in front of the way I have to go to the brakes. And it looks like, was it, who was it?
I think it's Millard in the AlphaTauri 5-place penalty.
Not sure what's happened there, but from Yonder's point of view, it looked like he was just going for a lap, and the
Damage
AlphaTauri
for the
just didn't
McLaren.
move.
Yonder swings in front of the AlphaTauri. Just came on board with that at the end.
And he's gone off
Yonder
again
off into the gravel. Yeah, it's made it work though. He survived, luckily for the McLaren.
Yonder's going to be fuming after that. So it does look like it's both of them with a grid penalty.
It's Seb behind on a lap in the Mercedes.
Moves off the way.
For him. And through the final corner, slight lift there for the Mercedes, up to the line, DRS wide open.
And he goes quickest.
Well, just under a tenth of a second, Seb takes pole for the Mercedes team, ahead of drifting. We have some more improvements coming up. I think Mihinovic... Oh, he goes pole. Mihinovic goes pole. After a spin on his outlap, as we were watching the incident ahead, Mihinovic takes pole by 35 hundredths of a second, rather. Good lap from the Williams, looking to make up for last night. Anyone else on a lap? I think Riddian's on a lap.
Yeah, Riddian's on a lap.
Had
Quite a tidy first sector. Clipping a little bit of grass out coming into the sweeping left-hander. Doesn't look like he's improving as much. Coming onto the main straight, this is where you get most of the power. He's only got 25% of his DRS left. So I'm not sure if he's already been on a lap. I'm trying to go for another.
Williams not improving, as we'll probably see most cars head back into the pit lane to set a new, get some new tyres on, fuel back up, and head up for the final flying laps as Riddian abandons that one into the pits. We have... Oh, he's missed the pit lane. Quite how he's done that, I'm not too sure, as Billy has joined the race.
And Riddian's been disqualified for going the wrong way.
The Tier 3... a man in P2 in Tier 3 behind myself. I believe the gap now is 1 point. As Riddian will start this race last in P12. Billy goes purple sector 1. Everyone will be watching this lap with keen interest, myself included. As we head down now into turn 6 and 7. 7 and 8 rather. Through turn 9, flat right. DRS wide open, not letting the car run up too far on that curb. Into turn 10, heavy braking. Let the car roll out wide. Careful on the throttle. Must be done by the Red Bull, not the AlphaTauri. Goes for him to the final two corners now. Let's see if Billy keeps his foot in. Big lift there for the Red Bull. As we head up to the line, what will it be for the Red Bull driver? And it's P2. By 12 hundredths of a second. Billy
Top
in
three
P2.
separated by fractions.
Fantastic start by these drivers. Nice and close. I mean, the top 6 separated by 3/10. So that is fantastic work by all the drivers so far to be that close. I will expect the pole time to probably be around an 11.5, 11.4. Kind of in the middle ground of the Tier 3 and the Tier 1 pole times. Good work from Billy on his first lap. He'll be wanting to push to get it back out again.
So Yonder's coming onto a lap now.
So do you want to take us through this one?
I'll try. So going down the main straight, going into 8th gear, your ERS is already being fully deployed now to get the maximum F out of the car. Braking into turn 1, hitting the apex very nicely there, not wanting to run too much onto it because it can offset the car. So he's keeping his foot flat in. It'll be interesting to see how he gets first sector. He's gone purple again, but he's gone straight off, coming out of it, just not getting enough traction. Yonder has some serious issues with this corner, whether that be traffic or just himself missing a braking point.
He'll surely abandon this one, recharge the battery and try and go again. He won't get back into the pits and back out again in time. So he'll slow down, recharge the battery And go for one final flyer as we have an Aston Martin. That is Scott. Yep, we only have one Aston Martin. So yeah, that is Scott coming out the pit lane. Probably not how you say his name, but we'll go with it as an SEO and a T in there. Everyone heading out the pit lane now. Start their final out laps. Yonder will surely go for another lap again. Here we go. On board with the McLaren. Full push. DRS wide open. To start the lap. As we barrel down now, the main straight, his teammate coming out the pits. Logan. Hasn't set a lap yet, has the other McLaren. As we head down now through turn 3. Take a variety of different lines through here. You can go very wide, very tight, and Yonder backs out of it again.
What a surprising move there.
Let his teammate past.
I wonder why he's backed out, because he could have had a decent lap on the board there.
He's only got one lap, so he needs to, imagine, a recharge and go for it again.
Yeah,
it's across the line.
He's probably already taken all of the good life out of the tyres, you know. He's been on these, what, 2 laps now? So that's a lot of performance lost.
Found maybe a push lap and a half on those. So yeah, he's going to put a lot of wear into those tyres. So if he does do another lap, it's not going to be his best. We'll follow Logan. His first and only time of the session. Just under a minute on the clock now as we head up to the line with Logan. Tom, if you want to take us through this one, as it could be a very fast time indeed.
Yeah, so coming down the main straight, hitting about 205 miles per hour, maybe, no, 203 for Logan. A nice clip on the turn 1, so we're on to turn 3, where obviously Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg had their little excursion. So it looks like it's a very nice clean sector 1. Not the quickest so far though, doesn't make the same mistake as his teammate, doesn't go off wide. It looks like a solid banker so far. Using all the track to great effect. Not running too wide on the grass, loses back end, slides out just slightly there as he comes flat out through the right hander. This is where the car starts to pick up pace, and you can see the battery's already worn down to about 80%.
Scott's gone pole, sorry, just to cut in there, Tom. Scott has taken pole, provisional pole rather, by just under 2/10 there for the Aston Martin.
It looks like all the extra laps have paid him off. But Logan hasn't set any purple sectors yet. Lifts off slightly, car looks a little bit wobbly coming into the final turn. Goes P7.
P7. That is it there for Logan and the McLaren. Yonder up to the line. Can he set a representative time? He does. He sets P5. I reckon he could have done much better than that.
Looks like he could
go
ahead.
To the line.
And he does. That's P6 to Callum.
Some very fast times coming through now. The Mercedes of Seb. He is just coming into turn 10 now. So you've got the Williams up to the line. Mihinovic stays P2. I think he does improve on his time, but not enough to challenge for pole.
2 temps there.
As you see Seb flying through the final 2 corners here. No, slight lift there for the Mercedes. Up to the line we go. Can he challenge for pole?
And it's pole!
He does! By a 15 hundredths of a second, Seb is on pole for the Mercedes team.
And Scott's not going for another lap.
Fantastic that. Yeah, that would be it then. So your qualifying order: Seb, Scott, Mihinovic, Billy, Yonder, Callum drifting, Liam, Logan and McLaren, disappointing for him, Ben and Millard really only getting disqualified. That is it for qualifying then. No Q2, just a short qualifying, so we'll go straight into the race. So your results then, oh yeah, important to note as well with the penalties. So Seb on pole by a tiny margin, very close as well for Mihinovic, the Swedish driver in the Williams, a fraction behind. Billy P4 for Red Bull, Yonder P5 at will start, P10 with that penalty. We have Callum P6, the other Alfa Romeo drifting P7, Liam in the AlphaTauri P8, Logan P9, disappointing qualifying for him. Ben will be P9 on the grid actually. All of those people will move up one actually with the penalty, and then Millard with another 5 seconds, 5 position rather. As we will head into the race now, and we will get going for lights out very shortly. It did throw us into it last night, so I'll have to be ready with the lights.
As long as you got your line ready.
Oh, it's raining!
Oh, it's
raining! We didn't know this. It is raining in the race. This will be full wet conditions.
Interesting.
Oh, we're in for a corker here, Tom.
Right, how many cars do you think's gonna finish?
7.
I say 5.
Right, let's get get ready.
You got your umbrella ready?
I think we're going to need it. Alright, as we will wait for the drivers just to make any very, very minor setup changes. Obviously, part thermic conditions locked in. Several changes can still be made, obviously, within those rules. How much they will do, we don't know. And obviously, the drivers would have had a view on the weather, so they might prepare for it better than we might expect. So here we go then to 5 red lights. Lights up, lights out, and away we go. Tentative start for everybody on the grid as the Mercedes of Seb leads us away then ahead of the Aston Martin. Both McLarens dropping down slightly, but here comes Scott down the inside. Better traction there for the Aston Martin, and he leads into turn 1. Contact behind. Oh, it's a massive
Red Bull's
shunt.
gone off, and it's Scott who's spun round, gets
Aston's
collected.
round. Oh, it's a huge crash there. Mahinovic takes the lead. Seb caught up in that as well. The Red Bull forced wide there of Billy. What heartbreak for Scott at the start of that race there. Brilliantly took the lead and then was just caught behind by the Williams. I think that was Mahinovic actually who turned him round. Didn't see what car it was, but drove into him. We're looking at a full wet race then. At least they one stopper. Back into the battle of the lead then. Have a look at all of that. Mahinovic leading by about half a second. As we head down now, there won't be any DRS as it stands in this entire race, so it's all going to be on pure pace and opportunistic moves. The whole pack still fairly close together. As we head down now into turn 10, Tom, what was your view on the start?
So it looked like quite a good getaway then for Scott to get the lead into turn 1, but then where everyone starts to bunch up, braking at different points, some people being tentative. Looked like some people weren't expecting to brake as early, or just completely forgot it was wet, and that's where it looked like it was one of the Alpha Tauris.
It was the Williams who hit the Alpha Tauri and then they
Williams?
slid into him. I think might have been Mahinovic, might have been Ridley, I'm not too sure. As Liam in the Alpha Tauri pits at the back of the grid. Mahinovic still leading then. Not a huge gap to Seb, as Seb into the lead. As we're right on board with Callum here. Ooh, Seb over the curb.
Slight contact there.
Round. As drifting, Callum rather slides through up into second place.
Drifting
As,
and Radiant.
Ben making up loads of positions.
I think it's Millard up 7 positions.
Oh, we have a yellow flag. The Aston of Scott. It gets even worse for him. He is round once again. Heartbreak for the man who took the lead into the first corner, but lost it almost straight away as Ridian and Yonder having a slight battle here. We'll look at the position changes. Millard up 7 positions. Other big movers, Ben 94 making up 5 positions. They go wheel to wheel there through here. Not a lot of space there on the inside, but Ridian just seems to nip through there. Lovely move from the Williams, opportunistic but fantastic. As I imagine the McLarens now might swap the cars around with Logan behind. Obviously Yonder leading the championship as he goes down the inside, has a look, backs out of it. As Ridian stays ahead. Tentative start of everyone on the grid here. There's not a lot of traction. They wouldn't have had any experience in qualifying of these conditions. So it was all new ground, all new territory for these drivers. Not too much experience on the tyres either. So it will make for a very interesting race. As trading laps, fastest laps. As Millard now takes the fastest lap. We'll look back into the lead. I think Callum might have been close. He was, but not quite close enough to take the lead.
Yeah, it was nowhere near close enough to go into for a move. But it looks like the pack's moving into 4 types of groups now. So you've got the lead pack, which is Mahinovic, up until Miller to the top 5 there, all within like a good bit. I think it's 3 seconds ish from each other, and then 1.6 seconds back is Drifting, followed by Iridian, and then you've got the second pack, which is got both McLarens and Billy following up the rear.
Just to look back as well, Scott into the pits once again. I think he did pick up damage from that spin on lap 2 through turn 3 as we follow Callum now on board. The Alfa Romeo tucked up in the slipstream behind Mihinovic. Tyre concerns won't be too hard with the little twitch there for the Alfa Romeo. Battery saving will be quite easy with the conditions, as he's now dropped off by almost 1.2 seconds.
Quite
That
racy
mistake
behind
there.
his teammate of Seb. Very close.
We'll have to keep an eye on this battle bit.
And
Mercedes will make a change down the straight.
Out, it means Millard might be able to get in and promote himself from P5 to P3.
I think there might have been contact ahead. I just heard a bang, but I think we're all right. As Ben down the inside of his teammate, right on board, slight contact there between the Mercedes. It's all fine. Flashbacks of Rosberg Hamilton here as we head through turn 3 now. Big twitch ahead for Callum, almost leaving the car, as we can see in the background. But Ben has to concede for now, almost pushing his teammate through turn 4 there. As they come out of the corner wheel to wheel into turn 5, who will concede. They don't want to back out, they're going wheel to wheel here. Very tentative between the Mercedes cars. But Ben sweeps around the outside and ahead of Seb now. Seb, the pole man, having an appalling first few laps of this Grand Prix.
That was a very brave move there, around the outside. Coming into quite a lot of drivers do make a few mistakes coming into the gravel.
Seb having another go into turn 10, just thinks better of it. The gap now out in front, 2 seconds. Callum having a big
Miller's down the inside, trying to get the traction, and there's contact again between Seb.
Big snap there for the AlphaTauris. I thought Seb had gone round then, but I think it might have just been a lag spike. Miller now the closest man on track. P5 is currently the closest battle on track between Miller and Seb, drifting 1.6 back. So Miller tucks up now, burning that ERS.
Got quite a big gap out front, a Max Verstappen gap this early on, 2.4 seconds, and it looks like he's trying to extend it, whilst the top 5, well, second to 5th, are all battling for that second position. Any mistakes here could be costly, as there's not going to be many pit stops, I don't think, unless there is damage.
Ben has very good pace. Callum struggling in the wet conditions, seemingly in the first 5 laps here. I think Ben will be one to watch this race, as Scott sets the fastest lap on those newer, faster wet tyres. As Ben now tucked up behind the Alfa Romeo. Miller behind, only 2 tenths behind Seb here. We'll keep an eye on that in the background. As Ben quite close enough.
It goes down to the inside.
Goes down the inside. Slight contact. Seb does turn in. Banging wheels all the way through turn 10 into 11 and into 12 now. Miller seems to be ahead, but Seb coming back now on the inside. They go wheel to wheel.
Struggling to find any grip.
Just about got it. Or Seb down the inside. He's going to poke a wheel. Oh, how did he hold that? I will never know.
Seb looked like he was running out of road, trying to get his car on the
ahead.
inside.
We've got Ben making a move. Sorry, just cutting there, Tom. Ben switches to the outside and ahead of the Alfa Romeo now. Fantastic move there by the Mercedes driver, who will now try and set off the Mihinovic if he can. Has he got the pace? We don't know yet. But Seb, torrid
there's
corners, as I think.
Yellow in sector 3. Looks like Liam and Scott have had a collision. Both of them driving out from turn... no idea. I can't see.
Turn 10 there. Those two coming together. They're running in a league of their own at the minute at the back, both having early incidents. As drifting now, looking for a move on Seb. Seb has a torrid start to this race. The man who started on pole, losing out to his teammate and then just falling further and further back. Drifting will be one to watch here, I think. He's improved a lot as a driver. Only a young man, very early on in his league racing career, but very quick driver. Many said seasons prior. That he's a bit of a quality merchant, very fast on a one-lap pace, but not kind of loses a bit of ground in the races. But he's certainly turned that around this season so far in BRL and in the XFL. Championship contender in both. So good start there for the Alfa Romeo. I'm sure he'll be trying to make an impression as Miller now on the back of Callum. Callum really struggling on those wet tyres, struggling to get to grips with these conditions. There's Liam and Scott in the background. Last place, a good battle going on there. We'll just focus on this battle for P3 rather at the minute. As Miller looks to the inside, dives down the inside, wheel to wheel between these two. Slight contact there, but Miller does move as AlphaTauri past the Alfa Romeo. Callum just struggling lap by lap to fire these tyres up.
It was a brave move for Miller, moving up 9 positions from the start now. So obviously, where would he be now if he didn't have them issues in qualifying?
No representative time for the AlphaTauri in qualifying. Had that incident with Yonder, which cost them both a good fast lap there. But good pace so far from the AlphaTauri. It's a shame for that incident because he probably could have been right up there in qualifying. As we have drifting right behind Seb now. Seb, another struggling on these tyres. Drifting, running a lot over the curve there as we see the Williams in the background going a little bit wide. Drifting just dropping off a little bit of Seb there. Learns a bit of battery. Battery won't be so much of a concern in this race with the conditions. Braking heavy, it will regenerate more of the ERS package. As we head down now through turn 12. The gap now out in front, 4 seconds almost for Mihinovic. Ben not making an impression so far, but he's got a comfortable gap behind from the AlphaTauri of Miller. As we follow drifting onto the start finish straight, just to start lap number 9.
It's 0.3 seconds and closing, using his ERS to a great effect to try catch on Seb. He's down the inside. Can he stick the movement
out of it? Yellow flag. Liam round again.
So Seb drifting coming around turn 3, I believe.
And it turn 3 into turn 4. Yonder on the back of Iridian as well in the background.
Logan's still yet to make an impact though in that second McLaren. Still quite surprised him from that. But drifting looks like he's looking a lot racier on them wets compared to Seb for P5. So the gap is always coming down.
Struggling to Callum and Seb both struggling at the moment in these conditions. Drifting very fast, although this has brought Iridian and Yonder and Logan into the fold here. As Liam is out in the pit lane, so no
safety car. Wide.
Seb's gone wide.
And it's
drifting might sense an opportunity here around the outside. Just run out of room there. Seb just struggling lap by lap. Iridian now. Oh, a big snap in the background for the McLaren of Yonder. We just saw that there sideways through turn 12. I wonder if this will give Iridian a little bit of impetus, try and get him past the Alfa Romeo, who's going to try and make a move here on the Mercedes. Switches to the inside, not quite close enough. As the retired car released from the pit lane, the drivers have to be careful of that. Not quite close enough, but he's got to be careful of Iridian behind. Big slide there for the Alfa Romeo through turn 3. Very hard to put the power down there at the best of times. Iridian now right on the back of this battle. These are the Coast Battle on track as the McLarens have swapped rounds. Yeah, no, that I think that is tactical. Or Yonder's made a mistake. I think it might have been the latter. Logan now ahead of his teammate as we'll come back on board with this battle here for P5. Yep, P5 with Seb drifting, Iridian and Logan. Yonder will gain back up, I'm sure, with this pack here. Just allowing everyone to save a bit of battery, save some of the tyre life. We will see at least one stop in this race. These tyres will not go to the end. It could see a 2-stop.
One thing this is doing though is helping the leaders get away. So quite big gaps now, which means if there is a slight mistake, they will get away with it from If I can find words, from P1 to P4. But it's still a great race, leading by Seb.
Watch Riddian down this straight. I was 3/10 off, but now it's drifting. We need to watch all over the back of the Mercedes, but not quite close enough to make a move. There's the McLaren swap back round in the background. Back and forth between the two. So we'll head back on board with drifting, Riddian dropping off just a tad in the first couple of corners. Seb managing to find a little bit of ground on the Alfa Romeo. Yeah, I think he's into a rhythm now, same with Callum. I think Callum's managed to finally fire those tyres up just that little bit extra that he needs. His drifting was almost into the back there of Seb, I think, through turn 5.
So it does look like drifting's getting a lot better exit than Seb, but Seb's got the straight line speed, which means realistically drifting will have to use a lot more ERS than he wants to try and get past on the straight, and then pull out a bit of an advantage from him.
Seb is burning a lot. Drifting has almost double the battery, so he can deploy it. It'll be easy to regenerate it, as we were saying before. So he just needs to go for it, just needs to send it. That won't help at all. A little bit wide there for the exit turn 10. I think, yeah, look, 100% full tank. Seb with half. He just needs to deploy it. Get a good exit out of the final turn, which he does just about. Very good exit, actually. Big slide there on the curb. Just deploy it, deploy it.
But after that mistake in the final corner, he lost too much time really to get behind Seb.
Oh, drifting sees an opportunity. Riddian rather on drifting. There's a big slide there for the Alfa Romeo. Riddian almost into the back of the Alfa Romeo there. Very close, but that now allows Yonder to gain right back up onto the Williams. With the Williams having to correct himself there slightly. I'm sure he held his breath there. I know we did.
But it looks like Seb's finally getting used to them tyres. It looks like end of sector 1 and beginning of sector 2 is where drifting catches the most. But then end of sector 2 and the rest of sector 3 is where Seb starts to come back into life.
He seems to fall off a little bit. Yonder right on the back of Riddian now. Riddian fell off a bit, gained back a bit. I think drifting's managed just to hold it nicely through the second sector, just through the more technical parts of the lap and the end of it, where traction is so crucial. I think Seb just has the upper hand there, but he is a lot closer this time. He should burn a little battery here. Just burn it bit by bit onto the straight. He needs a good exit here. He just doesn't seem to have it there through turn 13. He seems to lose a tenth or so through there onto the main straight. Seb just managing to keep him at arm's length at the moment.
Still deploying his DRS, he's getting closer than he did the previous lap. Looks towards the inside.
Go for it, drifting, go for it.
He should go for it.
He backs out.
Seb, brave on them.
Seb's gone a little bit deep. Drifting will get a good exit into turn 3.
He could go around the outside here.
I just struggled with traction there.
Traction. So that leaves the door open the inside if he wants to go for a race.
I thought he was going to go for it there. It was very close. Just struggled for traction around the outside on the damper part of the circuit. And that was the closest we've seen between these two in a long while. So drifting, getting closer bit by bit. So once again, it's always about turn 7. He always seems about 3-4 tenths off. But then just through the final 2 corners, he drops off a bit once again. So much more battery drifting. Use it. Use it, Alex.
Yeah,
come on.
On 35%-ish. Using it a lot more than drifting. That's why I reckon he's able just to hold out that little gap, keeping it him at arm's length.
Oh, he's fallen off quite a bit there. We're getting a bit closer of the 2 now. Drifting gains it back through turn 11 and 12. Fallen off once again. We'll look back to Riddian as he is the closest man on track now. 4.5 tenths. Could Riddian become a dark horse? His fuel light is flashing, so if he has heavily underfueled that car, maybe too much, as we're only just over a third of the way through this race. Interesting Spanish Grand Prix so far.
But still quite a big lead there at the front. Obviously, Millard making up 9 places from the start. Not really being able to catch Mercedes or Williams up front, but keeping a nice gap from Callum in P4. And I think the main battle, what we're looking at, is from P5 to P8. Logan's just dropped off a little bit, and looking at 1.8 seconds. So it does look like drifting has caught back up then to Seb. The gap only coming down to less than half a second. He's still got 95% of his
Much
battery
closer.
compared to Seb, who's on 40%.
I don't know why he's tiptoeing around there, just clicking that overtake button. He's got so much more to use, but he doesn't know that, of course. But just needs to deploy it as he runs a little bit wide onto the AstroTurf there. That will not help him. But he is quite close, actually, to Seb.
The gap's still
Maybe the
under half
closest
a
he has been.
second. He's close.
This might
the
be his
gap now.
opportunity here. If he gets a good exit out the final corner. Dropped off a little bit there. Yeah, he just lost a tenth there. It's just through turn 13. He'll get close and then just drops off a little bit.
It does look like he's
Enough.
got less confidence coming into that final sector. Where you're able to just put a little bit more power down. But obviously doesn't want to lose the car because it's still a lot of points for 6th at the moment. And it's still quite a long way. We're coming up to the halfway point, if my maths is right. Not sure if it will be.
Lap 17, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost there.
Let's say, I did do my GCSE, so.
Drifting still the closest battle on track. Mihinovic has extended even further since we last checked in on him. 5.2 seconds now to Ben. Millard comfortable 3.5 seconds off. Seb 3 seconds behind Callum. It's kind of in a no man's land. The top 4 nice and spread out from each other.
And Logan
Once
dropped
again,
off quite a bit. 4.5 seconds from his teammate yonder. And Billy's catching him for the P9 slot.
yeah, we've not mentioned Billy too much since the start. He got involved in that calamity at the first corner. Unfortunate for the Red Bull, who had a stunning quali lap. As into the pits goes Ridian. Ridian into the pit lane.
So
Gambling on a fresh set.
Little to
Pop
go
back
good
on board with
again,
Drifting.
because
He's very
it's a lap.
close. Very close this time is Drifting. Is he going to go for it? Just not quite close enough. That's Seb, I think. Not the best of exits. I think he'll still hold it though. Drifting once again, just struggling for traction out of turn 3. Oh, almost losing the car there. Seb runs wide. That'll be a warning for sure.
Talking about
I
warnings,
wonder.
we'll have a look. There's quite a few on the incidents form, mainly all from lap 1.
That would have been when everyone was going off, taking a warning action. I wonder if people start getting ideas now about pitting with Ridian, and also Scott into the pit lane. Scott 30 odd seconds behind Ridian. So Scott quite firmly out the picture unless there is a safety car. Sadly I have a feeling if there is going to be one, it could be him who is the one to cause it.
At the moment, it looks like Scott is the closest
Seb
to
wide
getting.
there. That will allow Drifting gain a little bit of encouragement. As we're down there through turn 13, I think it just takes too much of a lift. It'll be interesting to see. As Ben 94 into the pit lane then. So is Callum. Callum follows him in. This now the battle on track for P3. Obviously everyone will still have to pit. Drifting just still once again not quite close enough. We think he gets closer than he has been before. Seb goes a little bit deep once again. Drifting just needs to be careful on the throttle, be patient, build up slowly, and then burn the battery, oh, he goes just a little bit skew-if again.
He hasn't touched the battery so far this lap, apart from the initial burst at the on the main straight, and it's Scott who gets the first time penalty.
Unfortunate there, just gets from bad to worse there for the Aston Martin, as Seb a little bit skew if. Once again, will Drifting go for it here? This could be his only opportunity, just not quite close enough. And
I wonder if
Drifting not the best corner to make
try
any
get
mistake.
the undercut.
He is much faster seemingly through the middle part of the lap, so if he was to pit now, he could probably just pinch the gap. That's Ben ahead of Billy in the background of this picture. Drifting 6'10". So all Seb's gone wide again, but that's caught Drifting off.
Ben's
He's gone a little bit wide.
Ben and Logan have a battle.
Into the pit lane.
And it's Ben on the inside of Logan down into what used to be a heavy braking zone.
Hinovic and Millard into the pit, so the two leaders Drifting, rightly as you called Tom, into the pit lane. He did make a mistake there at turn 10, caught off guard by Seb running wide, big snap of oversteer, but he now makes the call into the pit. Seb inherits the race lead, Yonder at P2, both of these guys yet to pit. As Ben jumps Mihinovic, the undercut is powerful here, we saw that last night, we saw that on Sunday night. Mihinovic now behind Ben, Ben is the net race leader.
Although it was Radiant with the fastest lap, proving that the undercut would work. I wonder if he did it way too early.
Yeah, too early there to be in contention in the picture. Ben, mighty cool on the strategy. He has gained almost 7 seconds on the Williams through the undercut. He was 5 or so seconds off as he headed into the pit lane. Now 2 seconds ahead as Scott's taking the fastest lap there, showing he does have the pace. Just sadly for him, not in the picture currently, as Billy closest battle on track to Logan. These two, I believe, have not pit yet still.
It'll be interesting to see where Drifting comes out compared to the Seb who was battling before. So still a good few drivers who haven't pit. So it's Seb, Yonder.
Oh, Yonder falling behind Ben there, just a cut in there, sorry Tom. Mercedes 1-2 now. Ben with another car in between him and Mihinovic. Seb still staying out. Oh no, he's into the pits. Into the pits, sorry, is Seb there. So Ben, the net race leader, takes the lead of the race on track. Mihinovic will be looking to make a move on Yonder. Not quite close enough at this stage.
It's Logan and Billy both into the pit, so I believe that's everyone with a pit stop beneath them.
Oh, Mihinovic all over the back of Yonder here. Nose to tail through turn 3. This could be very close into turn 4. Will Mihinovic try it? He does. Into turn 4 we go, round the outside.
Round the outside.
Side contact. Oh, just runs out of road there with the McLaren, but he's got good traction on the exit. Switches to the inside and moves ahead as we head down the hill into turn 5. Loved the move there from the Williams. Opportunistic, but he needs to make that work and get after the Mercedes of Ben. He's got good pace, we've seen that from the cap he was able to build at the start of the race. But now he's got 2.8 to close. Ben now comfortably in the lead. So this will be an interesting fight to see to the end now. All of these drivers can make it to the end on this set of tyres. No need to pit. But still, without any safety cars, everyone will stay out now. So it's a on-track battle. As Billy and Logan, wheel to wheel in the background, will come on board with this as Logan keeps ahead of Billy for the moment.
So now it is Millard in net P3 because Yonder is still yet to pit. I didn't see that before. So I wonder if he's just seeing how long these tyres can take him. This is a massive wobble. Right, there was a massive wobble coming out into the final corner, and that's made Millard in that chest. He's now just got fastest lap.
We will watch this battle with Billy and Logan, the closest one on track behind the other McLaren and the other Red Bull car of Millard. We might have to watch that one actually because it is much closer now. Millard might try a similar move to Mihinovic, not quite close enough into turn 4. But good traction there for the AlphaTauri on the fresher tyres. He nips through on the inside, switches to the outside. Oh, big kick there for the AlphaTauri, but he does keep the move, keep the position back into the podium positions for the AlphaTauri. Lovely move there, opportunistic once again, but you have to be in these conditions, so nice move there from the AlphaTauri. We'll look back to Logan and Billy.
That was a beautiful move though, but at this point Young's been overtaken by 2 people in 2 laps. I think that's the time
He needs
to call it
He's
into
lost
the
5
pit.
pits already to Callum. He needs to come in. He will benefit all. Logan just running a bit wide there on the curb, almost losing the car. Very nice save there from the McLaren. Crucial as yeah, look, Callum all over the back of Yonder.
Yeah.
He might make a
now on
move
the
there,
outside,
but
if he
be
did want to
careful.
pit,
Yellow
he'd be
flag.
hard.
Logan's gone round. Logan has gone round in the background.
That means
So
Scott
unfortunate.
could catch up then to
Scott could gain a
Logan.
position. I think Logan has wing damage. He does. Almost off the road there, into the wall. He has got a broken right front end plate, so we'll need to come and get that changed. So unfortunate there for McLaren. Wouldn't be surprised if he does come to the pits and retire.
Yeah, it does
he'll
look like
be
McLaren's got an
40 or
issue then
50
with
seconds.
pitting their drivers under wet conditions. We saw it in 2021 where all of us cried, and we're seeing it again here with Yonder.
Oh, Willian ran outside, sorry. Just to cut in there again, Tom. We need to see into turn 5 of Willian, go for it.
It's
Down the inside he goes.
inside.
Lovely move there. Yonder just getting a bit out of shape into turn 4. I think it was out of shape again through turn 6. He needs to just change those tyres. Why he's trying to make it stick on a one stop, I don't know. No stop rather. As Logan's out, this could be a safety car, and it's a virtual safety car. Why not a full? Oh, we didn't see that actually. Mihinovic, 7 tenths off the lead of the race now. Those two on track together once again. So this is going to be an on-track scrap for the lead. Will anyone come into the pits?
Oh, hopefully Yonder.
I wouldn't
If
imagine
any
so.
times to go into the pit, it would be now for McLaren.
Oh, Ben tries to fake him. And it almost worked there for the Mercedes. I wouldn't be surprised if... yeah, Yonder will surely take this opportunity. Unfortunate instant there for Logan, just losing the car out of turn 1.
Yet
Millard
McLaren's
and Callum into the
pit.
pits. Yeah, Yonder unsurprisingly pitting.
Although
About
drifting
time.
is 3 seconds ahead of Seb. So the
Drifting into the
undercut.
pits as well,
And
I
it's a
think.
full safety car.
Oh, it's a full...
So you've got Millard, Callum, Yonder, drifting, Seb, all in the pit.
This puts Millard in a fantastic position. I mean, the difference in tyres will only be about 6 or so laps. But
then
doesn't
6 or
this
so
change
laps.
the context of the race? It's totally on its head. Because Mihinovic now won't be able to pit because he's got his teammate right behind him. Or will be by the time they get to the final corner. So one of the Williams will suffer. And Ben in the worst position of anyone. He can't see anyone ahead to pit. He doesn't know what to do. As this will bring Billy and Scott back into the fold. Wrongly predicting if a safety car was to come, it would be Scott to cause it, and now he's one to benefit from Logan's mistake there.
So Ben's tyres are only 5 laps, and then we're going to be in a safety car for at least 3 laps. So realistically, his tyres shouldn't die off that much. But
There won't be
probably
a big difference, but certainly on the first few laps with the fresher wets, the top 3 will be under threat. I'm sure Ridian can help defend for his teammate, so Mihinovic can scrap Ben on the road. Obviously with no DRS and not in dry conditions, it's going to be hard to make passes, but yeah, Mihinovic will be praying for some defensive manoeuvres from his teammate to try and help him gap the fresh tyre runners and try and go for Ben. But doesn't this flip the race entirely on its head?
it is, it's multiple different strategies here. So you've got the lead 3 who are just going to try to commit to that one stop now, unless there is another safety car later on, and then you've got the rest of the pack on fresh wet. But I wonder how much tyre temperature they can keep into them wets with under the safety car, not really being able to weave as much just in case you lose the car. So it'll be hard to keep these tyre temps up, so you may see a lot more mistakes on the safety car restart.
Those used tyres will probably get up to temperature a little bit better with some wear into them. But this is going to be very interesting. I think Yonder has actually benefited slightly from the safety car. Obviously the only man yet to pit before the safety car. Now sitting in P6, obviously net 3rd on the fresh tyres. So if they surprise us and fly past the used tyre runners, then Yonder will be in a good position. Seb now P8. The pole man having a torrid time out there. I've used that word a lot tonight, but it's the only one I can think of. Safety car will probably stay out one more lap, just as we wait for Scott to catch back up. But this will be a very, very interesting restart. So yeah, will be one more lap, just to allow the Aston Martin to catch back up. Let's have a look at the tyre life then.
So it's Ben with 6 laps, and then it's Mihinovic 5 with Ridium 7. So Ridium gaining quite a lot of positions from when he first initially pitted. That undercut proving how powerful it
be
was
vulnerable
into P3.
So look at the position changes. Ben up 8, Mihinovic up 1, Ridium up 8, Millard up 8. Callum is the only man to stay where he is, as Yonder's made up 4 since the start. Drifting down 1, Seb down 7, Billy down 5, and Scott down 8. So the man who started P2 took the lead into the first corner, and then was unfortunately spun round from contact from A. Williams behind. We still can't. I think it was Mihinovic colliding with the AlphaTauri of Millard, I believe, and then they
should be able
touched.
to tell from the race director. So lap 1, all of the collisions were Ridian with Ben, Mihinovic with Liam.
So Liam must have been the AlphaTauri then. I think Mihinovic hit Liam, and then they hit
Scott
the
with
rear.
Seb on here.
Yeah, I think, because Scott and Seb were wheel to wheel into the first corner, and they touched the banged wheels after the contact behind from, so it must have been Ridian and, no, who was it, Mihinovic and Liam. I think, yeah, they touched and then ran into the back of Scott, which then puts him into Seb, I think is the picture we can gather. The series will investigate that. I'm sure there'll be a few clips. Safety car ending this lap, so we will watch it as it slows down. Just regain our breath as the Williams going wheel to wheel momentarily there. As it all just slows right down. We'll ride on board with Mihinovic. This is the scrap for the lead. On the old tyres at least. We'll watch Millard's progress very closely. Ben just warming the tyre, trying to get a bit more heat into his older wets. Mihinovic with the lap pressure. Let's see when Ben puts the hammer down, and he does it just before the apex. Oh, little kick on the restart.
His ERS full on deployed.
Millard on the back of Ridian. Any moves behind? I think, yeah, the McLaren and drifting, looking down the inside, just runs out of room to make a move on Yonder. Business as usual then. Millard on the back of Ridian here. We'll watch this just a tenth off. Oh, nose to tail through turn 3. A little bit of contact, I think. As down the inside there goes Millard. Oh, they touch wheels. Ridian one's a little bit wide as we head through. As they come back into the picture. Yeah, Ridian's dropped off. Callum's snuck through there. So opportunistic move again. But crucial.
Positions lost.
Ridian loses that again. As Yonder just sneaks past. Those old tyres and not working there. As we'll look back to the lead now. Mihinovic just 4 tenths, 3.5 or so off Ben 94. But Millard, crucially, making the moves. Now just 1 position behind.
Scott was in a penalty at least 6 seconds worth. But still in the points.
Ben's gained a little bit there. I think Mihinovic made a slight mistake on the entry into turn 10.
Millard is on the
all over the back.
Of
Oh, he's on the curb there. Almost loses the carb. Nice save. But that will harm him now all the way down to turn 1, as Callum will be the one maybe to make a move, as he has a good exit there. These two will be a crucial battle here, because it will be who is the effective net race leader on the new tyres. Obviously, we're not expecting the top 2 to pit, which in terms of tyre advantage. There's drifting, just dropping down further and further. What has happened to the Williams? He's on the oldest tyres of anyone on the grid, but they're not helping him at all, as it's just miles difference. Look with the tyres, it's Miller down the inside again. Oh no, Williams just misses out on a little bit more room.
It's a
Although they'll
purple
get him on the
sector
exit.
1 though, so proving them tyres are a lot quicker.
Big
And there's
contact!
contact!
Oh no, Mihinovic is out. And another safety car. Miller breaking his front wing. What happened there? I think Mihinovic just came over on him a little bit, and for 2 nights in a row, the Williams is out.
I think there was a little bit of lost downforce.
I think he just
on the
jinked
rear.
right. I think he just moved over, and then Miller had nowhere to go, and then was forced into the wall. But what does Ben now do? Because his 2 closest rivals, the only other 2 on old tyres, one is now out, and the other is P7. Does Ben pit? But he'll lose all that track position. He'll fall back to P9, but will he gain the advantage?
Ben
Now no one to
hold on though in them old tyres. Still with some good pace. Wasn't as quick as Millard, but obviously now he's going to be at the back. Callum looks like he could battle for that P1, but Ben's defensive driver, from what I've seen to him today,
Ben stays
look
out.
like he should be able to hold on as he does stay out, like you said. I
This
don't
will
think
be
anyone will pit apart
very
from
interesting. Really in ditching those old tyres, Scott. We'll get some new softs on, new wets rather, and
Miller's
we'll see
made a
Millard.
mistake coming into the pit, not being able to
No
turn.
wing. So yeah, he'll definitely get that changed. So unfortunate there. I think he just was ran out of road there by Mihinovic, who came across. I think he had just thought he must have had enough room to take the racing line. Obviously, the racing line naturally into turn 5 swings you back from the outside to the other end of the track, which then becomes the outside for turn 5. Just running out of road there, unfortunately, for the AlphaTauri. Ben will be very vulnerable here on the restart. Everyone behind him has fresher tyres. I do think it will be a matter of when rather than if on the restart. Callum, very fast driver, of course, but the championship leader, P3 currently. I don't actually remember. I think Mihinovic was the P2 man. I'll need to check.
So yeah, it was Ben followed by Mihinovic, and at the start of the safety car was Riddian, so he's dropped down quite a few positions, obviously getting pushed quite out wide. So it's Yonda who's made the biggest gain from safety car to safety car.
Yonder will gain huge ground in the championship here. His nearest competitor, Mihinovic, is now out once again. Man in P3 isn't here. His teammate is out as well. And then I think the P5 man is Millard, who's obviously now with that contact. Now in last of the runners. Only 9 finishers last night. Currently only 9 runners in this race. What was Yonder? There's a fake move towards the pit lane as it just all slows down once again. Yeah, it will be interesting to see if Ben can hold on. Like I say, I do think it's a matter of if rather than when. Sadly for the Dutch driver. I'd love to see him on top. It's been a great race from him, starting at the bottom end, undercutting Mihinovic, keeping the lead, holding it strong ahead of the Williams. Now I think with these older tyres, I think he's just going to be a sitting duck. Obviously there's no DRS as we've mentioned, so it'll be a case of if he can just keep it consistent and clean and whether the cars behind battle. What he'd love to see is his teammate come through the pack a little bit from P4, maybe try and get ahead of Callum and defend for him.
It's going to be a hard one to try call, because it's like you were saying, the tyres are just completely different, but they don't have the help from the DRS. But depending on how much grip the rear tyres have for Ben, he should have a good exit, which should help him with the safety car restart. But he's botched a slight reliever 4, which did help Mihinovic catch. But it all depends on how aggressive Callum is on the safety car restart.
Should be in this lap. So we'll have 6 laps of action remaining, if it ends this lap, of course. And it
safety car
does.
this lap.
As all slows down once again, we'll watch the rear camera for Ben as everyone crawls through turn 11, turn 12.
What was Ridian doing for fuel? Because we know that his fuel that was going on, these two safety cars was obviously helping.
These would have helped him massively, yeah. Ben just playing with the throttle a bit there. Needs to get a good jump. This will be crucial. The restart will be everything for him. And he's gone. He's caught Callum slightly off guard, I think.
It's a nice exit. No wobble like last time.
Callum all over the back of Ben. He's going to have the better grip, the better tyres. Burning all that ERS. Can he get close enough to the Mercedes? Not quite.
Look towards the inside. It wasn't brave enough to go down it though. But still Ben who leads, followed by Callum.
Through turn 3. All over the back of the Mercedes here. It's just not quite close enough as Scott Ridian's fell to the back. Don't know what's happened there. We'll stay focused on this battle for the lead because this is going to be very interesting indeed. Where will Callum make the move? Needs to get on with it if he is, because he's got Yonder behind him. Yonder just needs to keep it on circuit because at the minute the only one near him in the championship is Millard. Everyone else he's going to gain points on, so he's just going to extend the championship lead. Any finish will help him massively. Gap now
is getting close to Ben, looking constantly for that inside line to try and make a pass.
Ooh, Ben a little bit wide. Seb very close to Yonder as well. 2.5 tenths. Just dropped the foot a little bit. As I say that, back into 2.5 tenths. I have a sinking feeling, I'm sure Ben will too, that this is going to be the lap where it all comes down.
Slight wobble at the exit. Ben and Callum both using their
to the outside.
Both of them
penalty for Miller.
similar.
Will to will. Ben just edges ahead, keeping that lead. As Miller has been passed and then repasses Scott.
So Miller's has got a 3-second penalty now, so that will demote him.
Oh, big twitch for Ben.
Big
twitch for Ben. Down
wide.
the inside goes Callum. Ben turns in. Is there enough room? They touch wheels, I think. Just enough space. Big wiggle. I think Yonder just run into the back. Big twitch there. 3 wide, almost in the background. It is 3 wide. The Red Bull, McLaren, and the Mercedes. Billy on the inside.
Back, Callum the inside on Ben. Doesn't have the traction though to keep there. So Ben holds the lead still, followed by Callum and Yonder. A brilliant race here from all the drivers. So it's 4 different constructors in first to fourth.
Billy just came out of nowhere. It was 3 wide as Seb passes drifting. Oh, Ben's gone very wide. Ben's gone very wide. Here comes Callum. Will he try it round the outside?
Might look towards the switchback. See what happens for Ben.
He's got to do it down the main straight as Callum. He doesn't want to challenge him in the corners. As we head down now to start lap number 30. Great battle between these two on that last lap. Ben moves to the inside to try and break the toe. Callum tucks it behind. Switches to the outside. DRS or Ben moves back over. That will harm him a little bit.
Callum down inside. Has he got the brakes working? No, then both
not
Mercedes
going
look
for
like
it.
doing well.
Yonder very close now. Yonder could be one to watch here. As Callum needs to switch lines through turn 3. He's just pushing Ben almost through. Oh, big twitch there. Great save.
Catching.
Oh, there's too much action. Don't know where to look.
So
big twitch there.
Callum
round the outside.
Nearly
Callum just runs out. Ben goes deep. Callum's with the switch
down
back on the
Got the
inside.
traction this time. It looks like he does.
Oh,
wheel to wheel.
Still. Amazing stuff. They can't hold it through here, surely. Ben back round the outside. Wow.
Still remains in the lead.
Fantastic action there. Yonder even closer now. What is going on here? I'm losing my voice. Billy all over the back of Yonder.
They've got a chance of winning.
Oh, here goes Callum once again. Not enough. Billy around the outside of Yonder.
Down the inside goes Callum.
Oh, Callum through again. What's going on? I don't know where to look.
Callum has taken
Fantastic
the race lead
move.
after 2 laps.
Billy's ahead. Billy's ahead of the McLaren as well. I'm losing my voice. As we head down now to begin lap number 31.
Billy is on the inside.
What a fantastic
Yonder round the outside of the final turn. Brilliant move there.
And here
Ben
comes
is still
Seb as
trying
well.
to keep
He
up.
moves over on him. Really wide down the straight. Billy just falls back there. Bit of contact. Some wheel banging there. Well, what a fantastic lap that was, Tom.
What the lap, and it's still going
Past yonder. Into
on
turn
the
3.
inside.
He's clear
Seb is up
as
into
Billy nips back
P3.
through. Both Mercedes back onto the podium. Great comeback by Seb. After a difficult first half of the race.
Ben like a bad habit, a second already, then fresh wets.
Fantastic.
And
We
there's
got
a
yellow.
flag, it
It's
looks like
Miller. It
Miller's
gets
gone.
worse. Fantastic lap there. Unbelievable stuff. As Ridian now the closest battle on track. Oh, Yonder and Billy rather. Oh, oh God! I thought Ridian had gone off then.
Contact.
Oh,
Ridian
Ridian has
has
gone
been
off. He's gone.
spinning.
Oh no!
And it
Oh,
looks like
drifting goes round the
but
outside.
almost hit him.
Fantastic move.
The drifting
Close battle on
into
track.
P5 now. Yonder from 3rd to 6th.
Oh, around the outside. Scott out of nowhere. Oh, he just runs wide. We'll watch Seb and Ben. Will they swap cars? Really, I would say to Seb to hold position. His teammate has driven a fantastic race, but he is struggling massively on those tyres.
We're in Spain.
So really
They're
think
in
about the team,
Mercedes.
think about
They're
himself.
racing out.
Seb all over the back of his teammate. His teammate moves to the inside. Very late call there by Ben.
Seb has no ERS left.
Seb to the
compared to
outside.
Ben, who was 80%.
Ben backs out. Sadly, I think that's all over. Oh, Yonder and drifting. Very close. What a shame for Ben. Just on the wrong tyres at the wrong time, unfortunately. And he's just a sitting duck now. Decent gap to Billy, although I'm sure Billy will gain that back very, very quickly. We'll watch this battle here with Yonder and drifting. 3.5 tenths is the gap. Just 1.5 laps left.
Billy is catching it slowly, but he's got a lap to do it. Well, a lap and a half
Ben
to
is
do it.
staying with his
Could be
teammate.
on for P3 here.
Oh, drifting. And Yonder almost touched once again. They've got to be careful into that corner there. It's not really an overtaking opportunity. As Ridian and Millard trading positions. Scott now joining into this battle, although that 6 second currently will keep him where he is, but won't allow him to progress any further. Billy now 6 tenths, just the 6 tenths off a podium. Very up and down race from the Red Bull. He was last for a long while until that safety car.
That safety car's brought him
Back into
up.
contention. We'll watch this down the straight. Scott is the closest battle on track, but with that penalty, it's all kind of in vain, really, for the Aston Martin. He'll gain the position on circuit, but we'll lose it in the time. Callum now dominating as we go on to the last lap. 3.5 seconds to clear. Ben a second off, under pressure from Billy. Can Ben hold on this last lap? That is the crucial question here. We'll all be watching the gaps very carefully.
They're both of near enough exactly the same of DRS. Mine's about 5, but Billy's still catching, but it's not enough if he wants to get him in a overtaken area. But unless Ben makes a mistake, that Mercedes will have a 2th race. Get both cars on the podium.
Fantastic race from Mercedes. Team result as well as individual results. Seb has just managed to come out of nowhere and claw back some valuable points for himself after starting on pole, dropping back and bringing himself back into contention. Billy just not close enough now. Yonder on the back of drifting. Last ditch opportunity. He doesn't take it, but the man of the moment will focus on the leader as he heads through turn 13, the Alfa Romeo, who's come from nowhere to then be leading at the end. Great battle with Ben after that safety car restart. He comes through the final corner. Fantastic race from the Alfa Romeo. He comes up to the line to win the Spanish Grand Prix. Fantastic drive there from Callum. Seb will take home P2 after a good comeback there. Ben taking 3rd. Fantastic race from him, just unfortunate at the end there. Billy P4, drifting P5. The championship leader, only P6 with his contenders. Out of contention there. Ridian was very close at the line there. What a fantastic end to the race there.
It was a good race all round. So obviously the wet playing in hand. And Ridian gets
driver
driver
of
of the day. But no, it was a race full of attrition. both Mercedes on the podium, but that's not take away the spotlight from the deserving winner of Callum.
As the Brit lifts the trophy aloft his head. Alfa Romeo loving that. Valuable points for Callum.
Oh, I didn't
Celebrate with the champagne.
I like that. But have you noticed it stopped raining for the podium celebrations?
Typical. I wish it was a wet to dry race or vice versa. Right, let's run through the results then. Callum, the Scot rather, your winner for today. 25 points in the bag for him. The pole man drops to P2 after a valuable comeback, valuable drive. Ben, unfortunately, just on the podium. Sure, we'll still be happy from
Although P9 to
P9.
P3 is something to write home
Still
about.
a fantastic drive. But unfortunate for him. I'm sure he would have liked to stand on the top set, but that's about all he could have done on the old tyres. Billy stays where he is after a very up and down race. Drifting P6, P5 rather. Yonder P6 from 10th. The championship leader losing some valuable points there to his rivals. Scott from P2 to P7. Difficult race for him. Ridian was not far off at all in P8. And Millard after that contact with Mihinovic, which took the Williams out. Falls to P9. So that is the end of the race there. We'll try and get the top three into the party, and we'll try and conduct the interviews there with the top three.
Well, I'll hand over for you to do the interviews, as you know.
You can stay, Tom. You can stay.
I'm not very good at talking
get some,
to people.
Get some
unless it's
questions
you,
there.
so.
We will. So the podium was both Mercedes. No, that's not it. Don't leave, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. Why can't I look at his... Oh, Seb's EA, so I won't be able to get Seb in. We can get Ben in. We'll try and get the race leader in as well. The race winner, rather. And he's left, of course he has.
We're only going to get P3 if he joins.
Recently played with... Come on, Callum. Come on, where is he?
Hello.
Hello, Ben. Where is he?
You're very good at this, aren't you, Callum?
I can't find Callum.
Well, I'll have a look if you want to start the interviews.
He's not there. Let's go
What do you
further
mean?
back. I can't find him. Well, I guess... Oh, maybe he was EA as well. We'll give Ben the interview he deserves. Personal one-on-one. So Ben, talk us through that race there. Very unfortunate at the end on those old tyres, but just talk us through it, mate.
Yeah, I had an amazing start. I started P9 and there was some kerfuffle going on in turn 2. So I went off the track to avoid everything. Somehow I didn't get a legal overtakes on all of those cars, but it got me P4. Then I made my way up to P2. Drove away from the cars behind, but couldn't keep up with the car in front. Then I pitted a lap earlier because I knew the undercut was going to be stronger anyway, and I didn't think it would actually be that good that I would, overtake the leader, because I think I won 6 or 7 seconds with pitting earlier. I held on to the lead until the safety car came. Didn't pit because I wanted the whole track position, especially because Hanovic did the same. I was actually good from then on until the second safety car came. If I pitted then, I would have been at the back of the field. So I was pretty much a sitting duck from that point onwards, and I tried to keep first for as long as possible, but it was inevitable that Callum would pass me eventually, so good on him. I let my teammate through, because if I was going to hold him up, we were going to screw each other over and potentially lose out for podium. So yeah, ultimately I'm happy with the results, but so mad that I'm continuing the theme of leading for a good portion of the race and then losing out in the final laps. It's been happening a lot in Tier 2 in this league for me. So yeah, that's
very unfortunate there, but a great drive. That undercut was crucial for you. Gaining ground on Mihinovic. But yeah, just unfortunate there at the end with the older tyres. But we will try and see if we can get Seb in. Tom, have you got any questions for Ben?
Well, no, you answered it. My only question was about when the second safety car came out, why you didn't pit, but you said why.
I guess, yeah, just to keep track position. You didn't want to lose too much ground.
Yeah.
Because
But
if I
you
did pit,
fought valiantly.
yeah, thank you. Because if I did pit, everyone was still bunched up because of the last safety car. So if I did, I would have had
Yeah.
would on the back end. I mean, if some of those drivers when they're on fresh tires, they're impossible to pass on the same set. So yeah, it was. I'm happy with the podium than potentially losing out on a podium at all. So yeah, it was. Yeah, it's probably the best I could have gone. But I should have really pitted on the first safety car, but I didn't think there would be a second one because otherwise I would have pitted. So yeah.
Yeah, very unfortunate, but fantastic drive from you.
Thank you.
Some great defensive driving there. That is your P3 man. No sign of P1 or 2, so we will leave it there. But fantastic drive from Ben. Well done to all the drivers who made it across the line. And that was the Tier 2 Spanish Grand Prix. We'll see you next week for round 7 and 8 in the double header. So it's Singapore and then Belgium. 2 35% races in the same night with one-shot qualifying. And we will see you then.
Ooh.